Welcome to another week of Valpo Basketball Preview. Todd Ickow with you. Visit with the head coach, Bryce Drew. The Crusaders 2-2 heading into this week. We'll look ahead in a moment. We look back. It was 2 losses, but 2 very competitive games on the road this past week at Illinois and Ohio.
You know, in the non-conference season, Todd, you want to get better as a team. You want to improve. And I definitely think our team made strides this last week. We played 2 very good teams that are very, very good at home. One winning 35 straight non-conference games at home, the other won 39 out of 42 games at home. So it was a great challenge for us, and from the first game to the second, I thought our team made big strides.
Alec Peters obviously really stepped up for you. It was an interesting day yesterday. I think we had heard the news that his hometown of Washington had suffered severe damage right around tip-off, and I was guessing that you guys down on the court had no idea of any of the news. I think Aaron Levitt and I had talked about during the broadcast that Alec Peters, as far as we knew nothing about what had happened in his hometown. Can you take us through the timetable? What happened?
You know, none of us were aware until after the game. We were on the phone and someone said, Washington got hit by a tornado. And so, immediately we were in contact with his parents. We grabbed Alec out of the shower so we could talk to his parents so we could hear that they were okay before, we heard anything else. But it was definitely put the game in perspective and life, more important than a basketball game very quickly when you hear details like that. There was also some, I think, that hit right across the border, Tinley Park area. So we have some players in that area that called their family from the locker room to make sure everyone was okay.
Alec's family is okay, but he obviously knew a lot of people that suffered severe damage. Nobody severely injured, but a lot of damage to homes.
A lot of devastation. A lot of his high school teammates' house is completely gone, everything completely gone. And so he's actually home today with his family with no power, probably going around helping people. I think his family actually brought people into their house last night. So the whole city seems like they're coming together to help each other.
On a positive note, his family, you like to say blessed in what took place, that they were able to not suffer damage and survive. Now Alex showing the character of him. He's got a big game on Wednesday. He's going to play against Evansville. We don't need to worry about that. But he's gone home just to help out for right now.
Yeah, no question. He needs to be there. They're a very close family. It's a very close community. He's very well known in the community, and I think just his presence there will uplift a lot of people there, especially when he's out helping people today.
Okay, one way or another, he'll be in Evansville on Wednesday night.
He better be in Evansville on Wednesday.
All right, let's talk about Evansville. What a great opponent. There's been many trips down there over the years, and I think back, and it's just never easy going down there. There's been some really tough losses. I think going back to maybe 20 years, a real tough loss. I can remember 20 years ago, there was a game, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, where your dad ended up walking off the court before the game ended with some help from the officials. But there have been some really great games against Evansville over the years, and I think it's great to have them back on the schedule this year.
Yeah, there's a long tradition with Valpo and Evansville playing each other from being in the same league, for many years. And it's nice to be able to play them. Excellent basketball history there. They've done a great job with the program. Coach Simmons, well known in Indiana, great fundamental coach, and he does an excellent job.
I like to say Marty Simmons is the Bryce Drew of Evansville. He turned the program around back in the 80s when he played for Jim Cruz and was on Jim Cruz's staff, and now he's back as the head coach. And really, to turn it into like a Simmons-Drew situation, his son is now on the team, and he's one of their better players. He's starting as a freshman.
Yeah, it's really neat. I was able to see his son on the AU circuit a couple of years ago, and I don't think anyone really recruited him because everyone pretty much thought or knew he was going to go to Evansville. And it's really nice to see, him being able to coach his son and them, have great success early in the season like they've had.
Marty was a great scorer back in the 80s. His son looks like about the same size, 6'5", wing player. What can you tell us about him?
Excellent shooter, very fundamental, won't take bad shots, won't try to do things that he can't do, but he'll play in the system very well, and he'll make open shots if you give him to him.
At the time of us taping this, they played 2 games, and they've got a guy who's scored 29 points in each game, DJ Valentine. What can you tell us about his game?
Excellent scorer. He's from Kokomo High School, so a lot of Valpo fans would remember Brandon Wood from Kokomo. A similar type is that they can score the ball in a variety of ways. So it'll be a challenge for us on the defensive end. We'll we'll have different people guarding him and hopefully be able to slow him down a little bit.
A guy who can score off the dribble a lot as well as shoot the three-point shot.
Yep, very good off the dribble, a very strong body. So, with all the hand check rules, it's definitely helped him because he's able to get in and get contact and get to the free throw line a lot.
One point over the past couple ball games, it looked like when you guys went with a smaller lineup, 3 guards, whether it be Alexis playing the point, Levante playing the 2, or Levante, Clay, and Jordan all out on the court at once. It seemed like you guys played better, especially offensively. Is this maybe a trend that we'll see more of the small lineup as opposed to the bigs?
We're such a new team, and each game brings different challenges. I definitely think, going smaller with Alec at the 4 was definitely very helpful last game, making us a little quicker and a little more versatile on the perimeter. But as you play different teams, sometimes the bigger lineup will be needed. So hopefully we can get good at both. So if either one's needed, we'll be ready for it.
Final game of the week is at home. It'll be nice to be back at home after 3 tough road games. James Madison comes in. I probably don't know as much about them as you know about Evansville right now, but we knew they went to the tournament last year, and it looks like from looking at some of their numbers and what they did last year, some real good athletes on this team.
Yes, they had a tremendous year last year, and it'll be a very, very tough game for us. As you look again to our schedule, I think all of the teams were playing 120 or more last year, so it's very, very challenging.
Good luck this week. Tough week. We'll see you next week. It'll be good to be back at home. Thanks,
It'll
Bryce.
be great to be home. Thanks, Todd.
The head coach, Bryce Drew. We'll talk to you next week on Valpo Basketball Preview.